The following is a mechanically reproduced announcement, previously recorded from a live scheduled program on 24.7 The Stream. This is not a live broadcast. All guests, callers, and hosts granted 24.7 The Stream permission to be recorded. This program may contain strong language or topics not suited for younger listeners. Parental discretion is advised. Thank you for listening to 24.7 The Stream. Constantly searching for answers but ending up with more questions? Then join the Intuitive Angel and find those answers. Curious about intuition and the power of pure energy? Then this is the program for you. Welcome to the Intuitive Angel. Wish, dream, sparkle with your host Amy Bianc and Dave Enway as they provide exciting and interesting topics along with fascinating guests. The Intuitive Angel also provides live on-air readings, meditations, and looks forward to your live calls. Host Amy Bianc is a 21st century reader of the heart, noted author, healer, energy medicine intuitive, and talk radio host who lectures both nationally and internationally, and developed a technique integrating earth energy with Christian mysticism. Now, here are your hosts of the Intuitive Angel, Amy Bianc and Dave Enway. On 24.7 The Stream.
Hi, it's Dave Enway here, along with Amy Bianc, and welcome to another edition of the Intuitive Angel Internet Radio program. I'm Dave Enway, along with Amy Bianc. Hi, Amy. How you doing?
I'm doing good, Dave. You seem to have a case of the repeat yourselves.
Did I repeat myself?
You did. But that's okay, because I like hearing my name.
Well, there you go. Well, I was a key officer in the New Mexico Department of Redundancy Department.
Okay, Dave.
All right. Okay. Well, hey, we got a big show. Kind of had a little bit of a technical glitch last week, but we got it all fixed. As you can tell, we are on the air right now, and it's time now to do, of course, the biggie, the one we've been waiting for. Everybody's been going at us and asking and asking. We're doing it again. Past life readings, and we got a ton of them too.
Right. And one of the things about past life readings is, in general, they can be very non-specific. People get an idea of maybe what country you were in or what profession you were in or those kinds of things. But what I try to do in my past life sessions is actually get down to the nitty-gritty, get names, dates, places, so that you can, so get a pencil out if you've emailed in for a reading. You're going to get a lot of details. So then you can go up, God bless the internet, you can go up online and you can look up these historical people. It's very, very crazy how close you can feel towards one of the people who you've had a past life with. It's because it's you. So you tend to have this real connection. And so when you go up online and begin reading about them, you'll get flashes. Like you'll see the place where you lived. You'll be able to smell the sea or the water around there. You'll get a sense of the civilization at that time. And it'll give you great insight into what's happening right now. And one thing I want you to know, whether or not you were grand, some kind of a high-level person, or whether or not you were just an ordinary person, doesn't really make any difference. We've all incarnated many, many times, and we've all been humble and we've all been elevated. So don't worry if you had a past life in the court of some king or if you had a past life as a fisher person. It doesn't really make a difference. What I do know is that the people who are alive right now, in general, had something to do with how we came forward, where we are right now. And that's what just excites me so much, because it's that knowledge. When you tap into the knowledge of the past, you can create new things right now in the present that'll bring us into the future, so that someday, 1,000 years from now, someone will be trying to look you up, and that'll be really exciting.
Yes, that's right, Florence. I see in your former life, you were the co-host of a semi-popular internet radio program. But it's
Do you still have a beard?
Like you have now, Florence? Okay, anyway. But yeah, so
yeah, it's very exciting.
And a lot of people also say, I've heard it before, say, Yeah, well, you've done 2 or 3 of these on me, and they're different every time.
Well, it's because
because you have several lifetimes.
Several, sometimes hundreds. The interesting thing is what I ask for is what plays now. And without having to sit there with encyclopedias and doing huge amounts of research to try and figure out exactly what it is that I'm seeing now with the advent of the internet and computers, I can zero in as little as, like, say, 45 minutes and really begin to get some incredible details. And one name that comes up will lead to other names that'll lead to other names. And then, boom, I've got it. I've got that past life. So it's a combination of research and intuition that I find really fascinating.
Yeah, and the people that have been that emailed us and everything, you've been doing it all day practically. You've been working on them, so
yeah. So that's the wonderful thing about being able to know ahead of time. And now, when I'm doing past life reading, so if anybody wants a past life reading very specifically for them, you can call 630-554-7713 and make an appointment. Just make sure you tell the person who answers the telephone that you want a past life reading, and be sure and give your details. That way, I have some time to do the research. And in a reading, a full-blown reading, we can really get into details like names of your children, what happened to them, what was going on historically at the time that this past life that's playing in the forefront it was for you. What is it that you're meant to be learning from it? What's interesting about it for you? So in this, I've actually Dave was looking at my sheet of paper and was like mumbling because I got really carried away. So you're going to get quite a lot of information, those of you who wrote in for these readings.
Well, just know, young lady, we have quite a few.
I know.
So we're going to get to most of them, if not all of them, tonight.
We will.
Yeah.
And if we don't, we'll do some more next week.
Because that's just we're just so darn popular.
Well, past life readings are popular.
We'd like to thank all 20 people that listen out there for each one of you emailing us. We appreciate it. And so lots going on with the Intuitive Angel. We'll be getting to the readings here momentarily, but we got to tell you about what's going on. Something really cool that I'm excited about is going to be happening. Your next mediumship class demo. We're kind of shifting the days around a little bit. Instead of always on Friday, now we're going to have 1 week Friday, and then a couple of weeks we'll do one on a Saturday, and we're just kind of, and a Sunday, just kind of mixing around the days a little bit so that we fit in with everybody's schedules, which I think is a good idea because we've got a lot of new people over the last couple of weekend ones. But this next one's going to be on the usual Friday. It's going to be February 26th from 7 p.m. till 9 at the Intuitive Angel, 83 Century Drive in Oswego. And, of course, it's a cool one, man. It's amazed me it's taken so long for you to do this. But, well, it is a mediumship class. We're going to have a seance, an old-fashioned, hold the hands and candles in a dark room.
And a big crystal ball, yes.
And are you going to have like streams of cotton coming out of your nose?
I hope so.
Cool.
That would be really cool. We are going to have a traditional seance horn, which is a large conical horn that is either it itself glows or it has a reflective tape on it. And we're going to have that. Sometimes it floats in the air. Since I am technologically, let's say, challenged, there's going to be no flummery or anything like that. So if it floats, it floats. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But we're going to see, because we're going to do the regular traditional seance.
Cool.
Yeah, we're going to sit around a table and we're going to receive the medium, myself. I'm going to see if I can't have some of the spirits come through me and speak. We're going to also receive messages. This is called sitting in circle. So we're going to do two things. We're going to have the traditional seance, and then we're going to close that. Then we're going to sit in circle and receive messages for each other. So it should be very, very exciting.
And what's the cost of this wonderful class, Amy?
All mediumship things, because it's my passion and my vocation, all mediumship things are by donation.
There you go.
So we appreciate it if you chip in something. Oftentimes there's expenses associated with it, and it's wonderful if you help me to defray the costs, but you don't have to, because it's about sharing. It's about sharing with the spirits, and it's about connecting with your sisters and brothers, which I think is wonderful.
And like I always say, though, but if you can, dig deep. All right.
Don't listen to David.
Anyway, so that's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a seance. Again, Friday, February 26th, the Friday after this coming one, 7 to 9 at the Intuitive Angel. That's 83 Century Drive in Oswego. And if you need directions or help getting here, just call us 630-554-7713. And then coming up before that, though, coming up this Sunday. What's wrong with me?
I was wondering.
I'm silly a person, but we have something this very Sunday happening, and this is really cool. Money Magic. It's a money magic class with Amy. Basically, you're going to learn how to use your energy to master the energy of money, how to use the inherent magic of money to your advantage, the magic of numbers and how they can help you to multiply your money. You'll construct a money generator and start your journey to money mastery.
Absolutely. And one of the things that you need to know is we're going to create a box. And the box is going to have special symbols put on the inside of the lid. On the outside, we're going to have a mandala, which you're going to color in so that it can be very personal to you. We also have some jewels if you're inclined to be blingy. So we're going to have some jewels that you can paste on your box, which will be really wonderful. And then there is a technique. There's things that you do in order to change your relationship with money. Pythagoras, who was the one who actually wrote the class back several thousand years ago, Pythagoras was believed that symbols and money were all energy. Everything was energy. And so you could change your relationship to money. You could bring in riches. You could. He was one of the founders of believing that you could change base metal into gold, which just occupied the minds of man until just recently. In any case, you can change how you impact the money in your life and how it impacts you. And you can cause great abundance to come. And you're going to have such fun learning how. That's
right. It's happening again. It's this Sunday, February 21st, from 1:30 to 4 o'clock. And again, it's at 83 Century Drive. And the cost is only $35, but it includes all your materials to build your box. And one lucky student is going to win a multiplier crystal to keep in their money box.
Honestly. Then they're going to come to all the classes because they'll have enough money. It'll be so good.
Well, I was going to say this. I'm sure some people are going, well, why can't we win money if it's a money class? Well, no, that's not the way it works.
No, anyway, it has to be your money.
That's right. But again, that's happening Sunday, February 21st from 1:30 until 4 at the Intuitive Angel, 83 Century Drive in Oswego. So we look forward to seeing you. Now, Amy, I've got a very important announcement to make that, originally, the weekend of the 26th and the 28th of February, we're going to have our great friend, Dr. James Wanless, the creator of the Voyager Tarot deck, in for the full weekend. He was going to do a beginner to tarot class on that Friday, and then, of course, the 2-day Voyager Tarot certification class or workshop, if you may. It was going to be happening that Saturday and Sunday. Well, it got rescheduled. We have some people up north that were wanting to come in, and they were having some weather concerns because they'd be driving, and that's that time of the year when they have lots of blizzards and snowstorms and all this kind of thing going on. And plus, Dr. Wanless is from California, so he was like, it's going to be cold. I'm just teasing you. Anyway, but pretty much we rescheduled it. So I think it makes more sense because we can do some stuff outside. It's going to be nice. It's going to be rescheduled for Friday, May 20th for the Intro to Voyager class. And then the 21st and the 22nd, that's Saturday and Sunday, will be the 2-day Voyager Tarot certification workshop. So again, it's the same number, 630-554-7713. If you're interested in attending those, please let us know that you're coming. It's going to be at the Intuitive Angel again. Again, that's rescheduled. And if you know somebody that's not tuned in or hasn't seen it and was planning on coming, we had quite a few people. We're trying to notify everybody we can that it has been rescheduled. It's not happening the weekend of the 26th. It's been moved to May 20th.
Perfect, Dave. You got that down.
I got it down, man. I didn't have to read a thing.
No. Nope.
I'm amazed.
He did it all from memory, isn't that
great? There you go. And real briefly, we do have something else that's really going on, too. This is something that, this is for anybody who's a serious student of the metaphysical. It's going to be happening in April. April 16th is when it begins to be exact. Amy's going to be dusting off her textbooks and her And her thing that basically one of the first things she started teaching when she got into this profession, she's going to be teaching intuition. In fact, in that the name of the class is Advanced Intuition Part 1. It's a 4-part class, and it begins it'll be happening April 16th is when that happens.
Right, and this class is designed so that you can go online and take it. You can be here and take it. You can also take it in person with me. It doesn't make any difference. You can go online. You can take it in person and also go online.
Well, via Skype, right?
Via Skype, right.
Yeah, so it's going to be cool. And they might even be able to see your face while they're taking it.
I don't want them to know I'm teaching in my nightie. That's okay.
But it's going to be the classes are going to be every 2 weeks. Let's see, April 16th, 30th, 14th, and the 28th are the in-person classes. And let's see, the 19th of April, May 3rd, May 17th, and May 31st is going to be the Skype classes. So we'll have more for that a little later on.
You can go up on theintuitiveangel.com and you can get all the particulars. Not only that, we just got out our email, and we also have it up on Facebook. So if you want to understand about it, you can go to the Intuitive Angel on Facebook, and you can look at all of the different classes that we have available.
All righty. Well, cool.
So I love the idea of advanced intuition, and it is something that I've been sharing with people for some time. But this particular intuition class includes so many different things, different than any intuition class I've ever taken or ever hosted, because it's going to include esoteric roots of intuition, so that we're going to be able to talk about how intuition started. What are the different things that our ancestors used? How about intuition? Is it something that's biological within us? You're going to just learn so much about it. It's actually, my goal was to blow away everything you've known about intuition and then expand it like the heavens. So that's what the class is going to be about. And you're going to be getting a certification. So that's also really good. And I'm very excited to be sharing with all of you.
All righty. Well, cool. So we got lots going on, as always.
Yes, absolutely. So that does sound like really exciting, doesn't it?
It is. It is exciting.
There's a lot of good things happening. And also, we do readings all the time. Not only myself, but some of the other wonderful people you've talked to over the years we've had online do readings. And so you can always call me if there's somebody you want to get in touch with, and I'll forward your information to them and have them get in touch with you.
All right. 630-554-7713 is the number to call. All righty. Well, Amy, just real briefly, tell us what we have happening after the break.
Okay, we're going to be doing past life readings, but these past life readings are going to be a little bit different. I can't say for all of you I got incredible in-depth information. Some of the people, your background or what was happening for you is not historically available. As a matter of fact, history isn't always right anyway. But some of you were actually, I could zero in on locations, towns where you were, historical things that were happening. And what is really amazing is those feelings or emotions that you had when you were in this past life will come forth in this life. And sometimes it can be very confusing. You won't know why you're angry or why you don't like a certain group of people or why you're afraid of men or why you have trouble with relationships. And yet when you go back into this past life, you go, oh, well, of course, that's what caused it. So we are not just ourselves. We're a universe of different experiences, and spirit that animates us remembers all those experiences. And so you're much wiser. You have a much broader level of experience than just your experience in this lifetime. And often that's very, very, very helpful. Often it bites you too. It can be very difficult because you have to overcome something and you don't even know why it is you feel that way. So in past lives, you can reconcile differences and you can awaken creative juices so that you can be the person you've always wanted to be or be the person you were.
Really?
Yeah. And
what if I was a jerk?
Well, I think then you're just continuing the process.
Well, maybe in my case, I don't know.
No, actually, University of Chicago did a study on past lives. They asked people whose children had interesting experience and talked about past lives to please write in. And then they interviewed the children. And one of the ones that I remember was so interesting was a young girl who every time they drove over a bridge, actually the Skyway, there's many bridges that come over between Indiana and here. And every time they drove over this particular bridge, the little girl would get hysterical. And she was only 3. And so finally the mother said, what is wrong with you? Why do you get so hysterical? And the little girl turned to her mother and in a very adult voice said, because this is where my car went over the edge and I died. And so the mother talked to us about this. The mother shared, and the little girl was able to give in-depth information. And sure enough, going back in the police records and everything, we did find where a woman in the 1920s, just when cars first came out, had driven over that bridge and had died. So past lives can be very, very interesting. And that's what we're going to hope.
They can be spooky too, man.
Yeah, it was spooky for the poor mom. She didn't know what the heck was going on. And like my granddaughter Nola, she insists she's a princess. There you have it.
Well, all the kids that age insist they're a princess.
I don't know. She hasn't gotten out of her princess dress in about 2 years. So.
All righty. Well, hey, stick around, everybody. We've got your past life readings plus lots more coming in on the Intuitive Angel Internet Radio program. You're logged into the stream.
Looking for help with your money? Maybe you're a new business, not sure where to begin with your accounting issues. Instead of taking chances with the IRS, why not come to us? Anderson Accounting offers tax solutions for your business, whether big or small, new or established. Let us help you with your accounting and tax needs. We give fresh ideas and outside-the-box solutions for all your accounting problems. Give us a call, 630-229-9884, or visit our website at andersonaccountingco.com. Helping companies reach their potential through careful planning, prompt service, and years of expertise. We are the solution. andersonaccountingco.com, 630-229-9884. You need to quit smoking. You need the latest products and e-liquid. You need Delectable Vapors. Located just off Main Street in St. Charles, Delectable Vapors is family owned and operated and cares about your individual needs, not making a fast buck. Come visit Mike, Danny, and Jill at 504 East Main Street in St. Charles and see for yourself. Delectable Vapors carries top e-liquid brands like Cutwood, Five Ponds, High Seas, and Sick Boy. They even have their own premium juice line. Sit back and enjoy their awesome tasting lounge filled with new flavors, fully stocked and ready to serve your vaping needs. Delectable Vapors carries all the hardware and e-liquid you could ever need. Did I mention their top-notch customer service? Delectable Vapors in St. Charles, just off Main Street, or always online at delectablevapors.com. You need to quit smoking. Come see us and let's kick some ash. Ask yourself, when was the last time I took a vacation? It's been a while, hasn't it? If you're looking for a well-deserved, peaceful getaway, then look no further than Vacation Home Renters Whitetail Lodge. Let the professionals at vacationhomerenter.com help you with the vacation spot of your dreams, the Whitetail Lodge. This clean, cozy, and gorgeous cabin is a spacious 3,100 square foot, 5-bedroom, 3.5 bath that is perfect for large families or entertaining friends. Did I mention it comes with an outdoor hot tub? Relax with modern luxuries like central air, wood-burning fireplace, Wi-Fi, enormous covered deck, and flat-screen TVs in every room. Just minutes from Terry Peak Ski Area and other popular attractions like Mount Rushmore and Custer State Park. Don't wait another minute to book the Whitetail Lodge and stay in the vacation home you're looking for. Visit online at vacationhomerenter.com and select the beautiful Whitetail Lodge. 24.7 The Stream. 247thestream.com.
All right, and we're back with the Intuitive Angel Internet Radio program here. 24/7, the stream is where you're logged into. I'm Dave Enway, along with, of course, the lovely, talented, forgiving,
Yep. forgiving.
I haven't told you yet, but okay. Anyway, that's Amy Being. Hi, Amy.
Dave.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
And, well, in case you're just joining us, we are doing past life readings tonight. And, thanks to all the people that emailed us at wishdreamsparkle@gmail.com. And thank you for your patience and waiting for a week. We were ready to do it last week. And then, of course, we had, I don't know, the Mr. Misto back at the studio, poured some coffee into the console or did something. I don't know what happened. But we just, it wasn't our fault. So basically, we had to wait a week. But I hope you enjoyed the rerun. It was an interesting show, I thought.
It was.
Yeah. So anyway, we're ready to do this. And again, we're oh, by the way, Amy, I forgot to tell people this. If you'd like to do your reading live on the air, you can. All you have to do is call us 630-445-1213, and we can do you live on the air, and we'll move you to the front of the line.
All right.
You get special treatment when you call in. You do. Okay, well, let's do the first one here. We've got a lot to get through tonight. First one is Deborah Francis. She was born February 6, 1958, from Chicago, Illinois.
Okay, I am out of sync, so just give me a minute. Dave, why don't you tell them about...
Okay, hold on. We'll get back to Deborah here. Live radio, you gotta love it. Okay.
So the first one is Catherine Gerasi.
There we go.
Thank you, Catherine, for writing in. And Catherine, yours was really interesting. I was transported. There was an emperor. He was the last Holy Roman Emperor, and his name was Francis II. He was the emperor who was defeated by Napoleon Bonaparte. And this is very, very, very interesting. Mary Louise, Duchess of Parma, was his daughter. I believe that was you. I could see it so clearly. And the interesting thing about Mary Louise, her father had a very difficult thing to do. He was the last Holy Roman Emperor because he decided to go ahead and to abdicate in favor of Napoleon taking over. So he had a very, very traumatic decision to do to stop being the emperor. Imagine imagine you're Mary Louise. You had your father give up all your royal heritage, your chances of marriage, everything went down the tubes when he abdicated. So you might have a deep and abiding fear that everything is going to change. And that's okay, because now that you realize that you're no longer Mary Louise, Duchess of Parma, you are you, and that it's okay. You have much more control over your destiny. If you do go up online, it's Francis II, the Holy Roman Emperor, and he's a very, very interesting. He ruled from 1792 to 1806, so you were with him during that time, and you were very, very close to your father. You felt his pain when he made his decision, and you protected and took care of him afterwards. So you were a wonderful daughter, and don't worry now in this lifetime.
All righty. Well, thank you very much, Catherine. I appreciate it. All righty. Well, hey, Amy, we've got a phone call.
Okay.
All right. Hello, caller. Who is this, please?
This is Natasha. How are you, Dave? Hello?
Odessa?
Hello?
Yes, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you, Amy. How are you?
Okay, now what's your name again?
Natasha.
Oh, Natasha. Hello.
How are you, Amy? I'm wonderful. I'm wonderful.
Good.
Oh, you're both wonderful.
No, it's always that. That's one of the blessings of doing this show is I get to have people. It's like getting these little touches, and so it's so wonderful to hear from you.
All right.
Nice. Well, it's nice to listen to your show, Amy. It's really wonderful and really interesting too. So.
Okay.
Well, what's your information there, Natasha? What's your birthday and?
My birthday is April 2nd, 1975.
Okay, April 2nd, 1975. And what's your hometown?
Diktersk.
It's good you're saying it, not Dave.
Oh, well, it was in Russia, so it was...
It was in Russia, so there, Dave. She said it, and you're off the hook.
Good, okay, very good. I never get it right. Okay, go ahead, Amy.
Okay. In Mongolia, there was a race of people who had total equality. The women were equal with the men. They were able to, they warred together, they laughed together. They had a unique perspective on life, and that is they believed that whatever they did, the people around them had their back, so that they were very, 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 very tribal in that manner. Although they were very intelligent, they were inventors and they did things, but they did all of this within the scope of the family or the tribe. The problem with you is that now that tribal energy isn't there for you, or at least you don't perceive that it's there for you. And so you feel as if you're all alone. A Mongol who was caught all alone would often commit suicide because they couldn't function on their own. So your lifetime this time is to learn how to stand strong on your own, and then the angels are going to give you back your family, give you back the tribe that's going to support you. And I don't really think you have much longer to go. The woman right now who is a rebel in Mongolia, I do believe is related to you. You'll have to excuse me because I can't remember her name, but you can look her up, Woman Rebel Mongolia on the internet, and you'll find out who she is. She's a pain in the butt for the Chinese right now, because Mongolia is the only territory of the Chinese that actually have been evading rule by the Chinese. So she is very, very powerful, and you'll really resonate to her. She may even look a lot like you. The thing about being Russian is there was a lot of traveling, a lot of different people came through. So the term Russian often includes many different ethnicities. So I think once you get that backing, once you feel that the people around you have your back, you're just going to blossom and you'll become a really great leader. And we sure do need them now, Natasha.
Wow, that's wonderful. That's really strange. I never thought about anything like that. So that's interesting. I'm going to research on that.
Okay. You take care. Thank you so much for calling in.
Thank you, Amy. I appreciate your reading. Thank you. Have a good evening. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.
All right. Thank you, Natasha, giving us a buzz at 630-445-1213. And see what we said. If you call in.
You get to go to the front of the line. How about that?
Man. Okay. Speaking of the front of the lines, okay, we have, let's move on to our next one, if we can.
Okay.
All righty. The next one is it Karen Marie?
Yes.
Yay. Okay.
Yay.
Karen, we got on the right track. She was born March 22nd, 1981 in Oklahoma, but currently living in Yorkville. Okay.
Karen Marie, you were related to the architect Leendert van der Vlugt, V-L-U-G-T, Vlugt.
Vlugt.
Right. He was a very famous architect in 1925 to 1931, and he was the person who built the first factory that was built for beauty. You have to understand, it was called the Van Nel factory, and it was built in the Netherlands in Rotterdam, and it's considered the prime example of international style. Now, what's really important about this is that connection to style is really big into you. You may not have discovered it yet, because here in the United States, we're dependent on trends in furniture and things. But you might find that you have a liking for lots of windows, lots of light, where the landscape comes inside. If you were going up on the website to look at that factory, it would open your heart, because you'd understand that what you really need is freedom of design. Sometimes we think that we need freedom to have a new job, or freedom to be able to express ourselves and figure out who we are, and that being a mother can be difficult, etc. But sometimes it's not that at all. Sometimes it's this artistic kernel down deep inside of you a way of thinking or of looking at things that you wouldn't have been able to come across here in the United States. So I was so happy when I found this, and I spent a lot of time looking. I mean, my God, the idea was that people would be more productive if they had a beautiful environment. So you came from this family where it was part of your breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You discussed it all the time. It wasn't just something where your father went away and you didn't even know what he did. So if you just open your heart to that particular kind of beauty, your whole life is going to change. Okay, Karen Marie, you take care.
All right, Karen. Wow, that's pretty cool.
I know.
Next up, we have Rachel, and she's from Oswego, Illinois, by the way. Let's see, her birthday is August 8th, 1995.
Okay, yours is a little complicated. Your past life happened in 1649, and it was the Battle of Zobriv, which is Zboriv. So if you were to look it up, that's what you would do, 1649, the Battle of Zobriv. At that time, the Cossacks were invading Poland, and there was a Polish-Lithuanian alliance that was fighting against the Cossacks. Your father was the person who was in charge, King John II, Kazimierz Wasa. That's who he was. So you have to understand that in those days, often people took their whole families into battle. It was something that we would never think about, but since the journey could be so long. So he was faced with having to make a deal with the Cossacks. He was faced with coming up with a solution to an untenable problem. So in your lifetime, you might feel that you have some problems that have no solutions. In this case, back in 1649, your father decided that at that time, the Cossack king, or the leader, had been held captive by the Polish-Lithuanian alliance for some time as a child. But he was treated very well. Royal captives were treated very, very well. So he was treated well and then returned to his people. So the king called on him to remember that he was treated well. So you might have some of this going on in your life where a good friend of yours or somebody who you treated well seems to be giving you a difficult time. It often mimics what we went through in a past life. The wonderful thing about it is the king reminded him of the kindness and then asked him to please negotiate. And he did. However, the king had a lot of detractors because he accepted a very harsh negotiation. He returned all the taxes that were levied on the Cossacks. He did all kinds of things just to save, and the people said that he did it just to save his family, to save you, to save his wife, to save his other children, because he was right there on the battlefront. And he also allowed him on the way back to sack without any punishment. So it was a harsh peace that he negotiated. So be careful of that. I think you thought perhaps your father was wrong and that he should have stood up and he should have gone into battle. But I feel that that's a lesson for you to learn. You have to learn that sometimes negotiations are very, very necessary. So good luck with that. I think it's going to really change things around. And you can look it up once again, the Battle of Zobriv, Zboriv, 1649.
All righty.
I know. I told you it was going to get really technical.
I didn't know we were going to get these history lessons.
Well, it's part of it. If I had just said you were the daughter of some king, it wouldn't be very helpful.
Well, is anybody ever the daughter of a pig farmer?
Yeah. Yeah, but those lifetimes are like marker lifetimes. Okay. Many lifetimes have nothing special happen. You have experiences, you fall in love, you maybe have some kids, you lead a good life. It's sort of like when I was a little girl, I lived in Cicero. So we called them the Bubbas. And they'd go to church every morning at 6:30 and they'd be walking. They'd have their long dresses on and their babushkas. I really, over the years, have envied those Bubbas because they went to church every morning. Their life was the same all the time. It was, that's the kind of lifetime that maybe it doesn't pop up every time, but it's a nice marker lifetime, right? It's a nice lifetime. So you get to rest up, you get to have great faith. Lots of things happen. But then we have these, and when you look at life, do you know we have at least 70 wars a year still? I mean, life is not, as a human being, is not what you'd call bucolic or ideal. It's always traumatic. Yeah. And so when I come up with these things, and especially I was looking for lifetimes that I could go back in history. It didn't work for every single person who wrote in, but that's what I was looking for, something that was bigger that they could look at and they could understand.
Well, okay then.
Okay.
Well, that answered my question.
Thank you, Dave.
By the way, you're not a Baba, you're a Nana.
I am. I'm a Nana.
Okay, here we go. Next one up, we have, we have Gabrielle, August 31st, 1990, from L.A., CA. Okay,
Gabriella. I'll tell you how it happened. I saw swallows. So we know that there's the swallows that go to Capistrano. So I wrote down Capistrano. And I looked it up and I thought to myself, no, this isn't right. It's something else. And I was looking and I saw the name St. Francis of Assisi. And I thought, yes, that's it. It has something to do with St. Francis of Assisi. So I looked up St. Francis of Assisi, but I couldn't find the connection, that connection that dropped out, that pulled out to me, that showed me exactly what was going on in your life at that time. And then I noticed that there was Pope Gregory the Ninth. Pope Gregory the Ninth was a very interesting man. He was he was a lawyer. He studied law. He was very much into controlling the then known world from the papacy. In this case, I saw very clearly that you were a beloved sister of his, that you had his ear. He was a gregarious guy, and guess who his good friend was? It was St. Francis of Assisi. As a matter of fact, he was the Pope who canonized St. Francis of Assisi, which was very interesting. So his real name was Ugolino, so Ugolino, or Hugh, and he was born in Angini, Anagni, and he went to the school in the University of Paris in Bologna, and he was very much into education for women, so you would have been educated. But here's the problem. As your brother, he tended to be very... he had hardening of the attitudes. I guess a lot of popes have those. He didn't take the papacy until he was 80. And when he did, he went a little bit crazy. So you were still with him. You lived a very long and wonderful life at that time. And so you told him, look, you can't do these particular things. And so one of the things that he did that was not so very good was he decided that black cats were evil. And you told him, no, do not do it. It's going to lead to all kinds of problems. Do not say that black cats are evil, but he did. And so all over Christianity at that time, people were killing black cats. And guess what happened?
Yeah.
The plague. Because the cats ate the rats, and the fleas were on the rats, and the rats took over, and bingo. There was plague, bubonic plague. So you might have now in this lifetime an affinity for animals. You loved St. Francis. He would eat at your family table. And you fight against people who want to hurt animals in any way. You might also be a conservationist, someone who really believes in the balance of things. As we know, they killed the wolves in the Grand Canyon, and then the other animals overran the Grand Canyon. It's very, very crazy. So I think that once you accept this, once you know that sometimes good people, your brother was a good man, sometimes good people make terrible decisions, and you want to be in the way of making decisions on your own and making them, instead of with your mind, with your heart. Okay, take care.
All righty. We have time for one more quickie.
Okie dokie.
All righty. Thank you, Gabriella, by the way. This is Kevin. He was born June 9th, 1988 from Chicago.
Okay, Kevin. Back in 1681, there was Duke of Albemarle, and he held the very first boxing championship. It was between his butcher and his butler. You were the local butcher, and he did it as sport. He wanted to show people how tough his butler was. And you have to understand, butlers at that time were also bodyguards. So you were one of the first people to ever engage in boxing. It's not written in history who won, but I'm pretty sure it was you. You may still have a lot of interest in pugilistic arts. You may be in martial arts. You may have a fascination for it. If you're not doing it yourself, you have a fascination for it. And so that's your past life. It's very interesting to me, and also very interesting that you might have a feeling about authority. You don't want people to put you in situations that you're not agreeing to be in. You don't want to be doing things for somebody else's amusement. Okay, take care.
All right. Well, I appreciate it there, Kevin. Thank you for logging in there with us. We appreciate it very much. And stick around. Oh, boy, we got tons more, lots more of these very interesting past life readings here on the Intuitive Angel Internet Radio program here on 24/7 The Stream. Stick around.
Every time you turn us on, there's another hit show coming on.
Awesome.
247thestream.com. The vaping industry is saturated with e-liquids these days, but only one truly separates itself from the rest. Kalari. KalariVapor.com. When it comes to producing a top-quality vapor liquid, Kalari comes out with a bold statement. We're here to stay. Now, with higher expectations from their fans, Kalari produced an even higher quality e-liquid like no other. Kalari Prime. Kalari Prime. Kalari Prime nicotine is extracted from the finest Virginian tobacco leaves and aged for several months to perfectly blend with its one-of-a-kind flavors and give you a perfect full-flavor draw without the harsh throat hit like those other brands. Don't just take their word for it. Visit KalariVapor.com and try it for yourself. Kalari and Kalari Prime e-liquid. Don't smoke it. Vape it at KalariVapor.com. Must be 18 years or older to purchase. KalariVapor.com. That's the sound of a classmate receiving an attachment of you posing in your underwear. Your ex-boyfriend forwarding this picture to his friends. It being sent to your coach. And worst of all, your dad. All because of the time that you posted those pictures on your profile. Anything you post online, anyone can see. So think before you post. For more information, visit cybertipline.com.
Have you heard about that crazy rap thing? There are millions of blogs on today's internet, but only Rita's crazyrapthing.com can truly help empower you to be healthy and confident about how you look and feel right now. Independent distributor Rita Doman is someone who has always struggled with her weight and health, but made the decision to start living and not worry about her weight any longer. Visit Rita's crazyrapthing.com and follow Rita's daily empowering blogs for tips on keeping you looking and feeling confident about yourself no matter what. You are worth it. You deserve to be treated with respect. Be empowered with confidence now and visit Rita's crazyrapthing.com and let yourself off the hook. Know that you are good enough no matter how you look or feel. Girl, don't just sit there and think about it. Visit Rita's crazyrapthing.com and make peace with your past. Go from this
doesn't look good,
to this.
Don't you look cute today?
Rita's crazyrapthing.com.
Talk is our business, and business is good. WHVRdigital.com.
All right, and we're back with the Intuitive Angel Internet Radio program here on 24/7 The Stream. It's Dave Enway along with Amy P.A., and we're doing past life readings. And wonderfully interesting so far, Amy. And I tell you what, we got somebody on the phone right now. Hello, caller. Who are we talking to, please?
Hi, guys. It's Vanessa,
Hi, Vanessa. How are you? Where are you calling us from today?
Chicago.
Chicago, my town. All right. Let's see. And we have here your birthday is April 21st, 1987. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Amy, do your voodoo that you do so well.
Okay. It's 1942, so you have a rather recent past life. It's 1942, and it's in the Philippines. At that time, we were at war with the Japanese, and many people volunteered to go to the Philippines and help out, help the children. So you were one of the nurse/teachers who went out there to help, and you were killed during an air raid. You were literally putting your life down, getting the children out of the school. The air raid was not discriminatory about schools or anything like this. And your very last act was to shield the children. All of the children, I'm going to tell you, made it out of there just fine. You may be able to look it up. I don't have exactly the details, but it would have been teacher/nurse who served in the Philippines, went out there to be a teacher and died in an air raid crash. I don't think there were that many, so you should be able to find it. What that means for you, Vanessa, right now is that you may be very, very, very protective of those that you love. You may feel that always you're looking over your shoulder, that bad things can happen. You may also have an absolute passion for educating children, making sure that they're given educational options. I think you were a very rebellious teacher at the time, and you wanted to teach the Philippine children not to be white. You wanted to teach them how to be themselves, how to be proud of who they were. And there's even some thought that you were targeted specifically because of the rebellious nature of the way you taught. So are you a rebel, Vanessa?
I may be.
Just a little bit, right? Okay. So one thing to understand is we're not at war. A meteorite is not going to fall out of the sky and hit you or hit anybody around you. You don't have to be the hero, but it's heroic to change the way people think. And so you're going to be able to do that now that you've heard about your past life, okay?
Nice.
All right. Take care, Vanessa. Thank you so much for calling in.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
All right. Bye-bye, Vanessa. Thank you very much. As Vanessa called in at 630-445-1213. Okay, next up we have Gianna. She was born August 29th, 2014.
Okay.
2014 from Bakersfield, California. This must be a young person. I saw that.
Okay. Your name was Leonore. You were the granddaughter of King Dennis and Elizabeth of Aragon. Nobody knows too much about your past. When you were 18, the reason that you made history is because you had two kings vying for your hand. This was very unusual since generally marriages were arranged well in advance. I mean, even when somebody was first born. But you were so amazing and so beautiful that the two kings fought over you. You were married to Ferdinand of Aragon, and so you were one of the last descendants of the people, the different kings and queens of Aragon. You had a very interesting life, but you died very early at the age of, say, 21 of the Black Death. It may be now that you feel as if you don't have enough time, or that you can't even imagine being old. You may have a heart. You may be fatalistic. God doesn't care because of that past life where you had everything and then everything was taken away from you. The fact of the matter is, though, that we come to make our mark. Once that's done, then we're finished. And in this lifetime, you've been given the opportunity to finish what you began. You would have been a very benevolent and wonderful ruler. You had the heart. That's why they were fighting over you. So right now you want to follow your heart, and you have the heart of royalty, the heart of a queen. Okay, take care, dear. Bye-bye.
All right. Gianna, I'm sure is the word. Did I say Gianna?
Gianna. Well, Gianna.
Gianna, I think it's Gianna. I apologize.
Think so,
I
too.
apologize to you, dear. All right. Next up we have Arturo Garcia. Okay, it's December 5th, 1976, from North Lake, Illinois.
Okay, Arturo, I loved the past life that came for you. And I'll tell everybody how I first began smelling leather, which was really interesting. Not the perfume, but leather, like a leather coat or the inside of a leather car thing. The next thing I saw was shoes. Shoes with laces, old-fashioned shoes, beautiful shoes. And I actually was jealous because I'm on a quest to find a shoe that doesn't hurt my foot. So I started thinking about shoes. And these shoes that I was seeing were of a very soft leather, and they actually wrapped around the person's foot. And then bingo, there you were, Salvatore Capizio. And you were born in 1871 and you lived until 1940. So you had a very nice long life. You were an Italian-born shoemaker. You came of the Capizio family. You came here to the United States and you were a cobbler. You began designing shoes and you had an amazing life. You were extremely popular. And you married the celebrated ballerina Anna Pavlova. You didn't marry her. Actually, you were her shoemaker. Pardon me. You took care of her and made ballet shoes, and you became like the darling of all the artists and everybody. So if you feel that you're being dead end right now, you want to look to an inner talent that you have. It might not be shoes, although God knows we could use a good shoemaker out there. But it might not be shoes, but it could be something creative, something to make people's lives better. What do you have that you're passionate about that could open up doorways? How could you help people to be better athletes, better homemakers, better everything? I mean, shoes are something that is basic to everyone. Every single person out there wears shoes of some kind. So that type of a thing is what you're looking for. And you might want to look at shoes. It's just possible you have a thing for shoes. Okay, take care, Arturo.
All right, there you go. Thanks, Arturo. We appreciate it so much. Okay, moving right along. We've got lots of these to do, and we're going to do one more before the break. Danessa, she was born, September 24th, 1987. She's from Chicago, back of the yards neighborhood.
Okay, Danessa, this was one where, unfortunately, history has a problem with women. So sometimes, no matter how much research you do, you can't find a name, although I know you were there. So I would say in 1876 in England, you were one of the first women to crossbreed roses. I saw roses everywhere. I smelled roses. And it wasn't, sometimes when that happens, it's a Blessed Virgin thing, because when the Blessed Virgin comes in, especially for us psychics, we often smell roses. But in this case, it was more visceral. I saw roses in different colors. I mean, I don't know that much about them, but there were all kinds of amazing colors, beautiful white roses that were like the sizes of dinner plates. And so I knew that these were created by someone. There was a woman, although I couldn't find out her name. She raised roses in England, and she was passionate about growing different types of roses. She was even someone who helped with the Queen's Garden. So right now in London, you can go to the Queen's Garden. She has a Queen's Rose Garden, and there is greenhouse. And in the greenhouse are roses that are over 150 years old. It's very interesting.
Well, the line of roses.
No, the roses themselves. They have...
the bush, you mean?
No, they have stems that are like the size of small trees. It's because it never gets so cold that they go into hibernation. And in this green, I mean, it's just amazing.
Oh, so it just keeps reblooming.
It just keeps reblooming and reblooming. I think because we live in a northern climate, we're used to everything dying off. But I think that same thing happens probably in Florida and Virginia and places like that. But I'd never seen anything like it. So you had something to do with that. So one of the things you can do is you can look up the Queen's Rose Garden. It's just outside of London. And you can go, I'm sure they have a virtual tour, look in the greenhouse and then do some studying about the roses. You have a great propensity for botany and understanding the crossing and what you're going to get, and the fascination for seeing what happens when you do this and this and this. So you may right now have an interest in science, and if you're just average and you haven't felt that way, you may have a passion for roses. If you haven't had a passion for roses, I'd suggest looking at some seed catalogs or going up online and looking at the different breeds, and it'll just wake it up inside of you, and that just may change your life. Okay, take care.
All right. Thank you very much, Danessa. We appreciate it. And all these people that have emailed us at wishdreamsparkle@gmail.com. It's also the address if you have any ideas or show ideas or suggestions or complaints or compliments. You can email us there.
I like the compliments part.
There you go. Okay. Well, I tell you, right before we go to break, I want to remind everybody, of course, happening this Sunday, big class with Amy. It's going on from 1:30 till 4 o'clock. Of course, this Sunday is the Money Magic class with Amy. Of course, in this class, you're going to learn how to use your energy to master the energy of money, how to use the inherent magic of money to your advantage, the magic of numbers and how they can help you multiply your money. You will construct a money generator box and start your journey to money mastery. And one lucky student will win a special multiplier crystal to keep in their money box. And it's only $35. Please pre-register with us at 630-554-7713. And it's going to be at 83 Century Drive in Oswego. All right. Well, stick around, everybody. We got lots more of your past life readings coming up here on the Intuitive Angel Internet Radio program. You're logged into The Stream.
.7 The Stream would like to remind you that eagles may soar, but weasels don't get sucked into jet engines. Thank you for listening to 24.7 The Stream. 24.7 The Stream is proud to recognize official sponsor Sarpino's Pizzeria, right here in Naperville. Serving the Naperville community for many years, Sarpino's features a fantastic menu and offers you a 5-star gourmet experience guaranteed. You won't find a more diverse menu of succulent appetizers, fresh salads, custom sandwiches, entrees, or tasty desserts at any other pizzeria in the area. Conveniently located at 1567 North Aurora Road in Naperville, Sarpino's is open all 365 days, offering free delivery and open late nights on Friday and Saturday until 3 a.m. For excellent products, exceptional service every time. Visit Sarpino's in Naperville or order online at gosarpinos.com. The traditional light bulb, a groundbreaking invention in 1879. It's time we switch to longer-lasting Energy Star light bulbs. They're more efficient than old light bulbs, like a text message is more efficient than a carrier pigeon. And they cut down on our energy costs. Because in our own groundbreaking age, we deserve a light bulb that saves us some cash. Saving energy saves you money. Learn more at EnergySavers.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Energy and the Ad Council. Keep your online visitors engaged with Rumble Talk chat service. With over 2 million chatters on over 200,000 websites, Rumble Talk is a proven professional chat room service. With an easy-to-install Rumble Talk chat room, you can share rich media, chat on the go from your mobile phone or tablet, integrate on popular social media pages, blogs, mobile apps, and websites. Add a stylish HTML5 Rumble Talk chat room theme or create your own custom Rumble Talk chat room. Rumble Talk gives you the ability to control any aspect of your chat room's appearance, images, colors, backgrounds, borders and fonts, and overall style. With Rumble Talk's easy account management, you can manage all your Rumble Talk chat rooms from one account. Now that you've found your chat room solution, visit rumbletalk.com for your free 7-day trial today. Your visitors are waiting. Rumble Talk chat service, rumbletalk.com. Grow your business. At Signarama of Naperville, we offer customized solutions for signs, branding, marketing, and advertising. We have a full range of custom signs and graphic services to meet your needs, build your brand, and create your image. Look around and you'll see how our specialists help businesses enhance their visibility and get noticed. Let us work with you to understand your unique marketing goals and help you reach them. Call 630-527-0500 to meet with an expert at Signarama Naperville. That's 630-537-0500 or visit us online anytime at Signarama-Naperville.com. Custom solutions, friendly service. Signarama of Naperville, the way to grow your business. Paying too much to host your radio program with others? Tired of trying to figure out complicated software programs? Then let WHVR Digital Broadcasting help you. We offer full program production, engineering, promotion, and training so you can take your program to the next level. Don't have a radio show? No problem. Send us your program idea and we can bring it to life for you. We all have something to say, so why not use our quality service to say it? If you're a serious broadcaster and looking for a top quality outlet for your live program, then call us today at 800-653-1680 extension 3. That's 800-653-1680 extension 3. Or visit WHVRdigital.com for more details. Come join our growing network and see why talk is our business and business is good. WHVR Digital Broadcasting. We're here to serve you. From our studios to the world, here comes more great programming on WHVR Digital Broadcasting.
All right, and we're back with the Intuitive Angel Internet Radio program here, 24/7 The Stream. Dave Henley, yours truly, along with Amy Bianc. Hello, Amy.
Hello, Dave.
I got to tell you, we're having such a wonderful history lesson tonight.
Well, that's part of past lives. You can't understand them without the context.
I know. It's cool.
That's one of the things when you're... It's a blessing to be able to tumble back into history and to see these things, to see how people learned and how they felt. And you know what really amazed me when I began doing these quite a few years ago was I learned that we get really arrogant. We think we know everything, but we don't. Our ancestors way back to the beginning of time were very intelligent, very amazing people. And oftentimes we've forgotten their gifts. We've forgotten what they gave us. And so being able to go back in past lives isn't just about the individual. It is about this history lesson. It is about understanding how decisions were made, what happened, and the emotional ramifications of those decisions on history. It's amazing.
Cool.
You can tell I get so passionate about it.
She gets passionate. Yes,
I do.
She does. Well, cool. I get passionate about history, too. It's my favorite channel. I love Pawn Stars. Pawn Stars is cool.
Okay.
And the Swamp People.
Swamp People, that's good and historical.
Well, I liked it when it first came out. Anyway. All right. Well, hey, let's get back to the past life readings. We're doing them here for you folks out there. Again, if you want it done live, we'll push you to the front of the line. 630-445-1213 is the number to call. Next up, we started her, and then you had to rustle some your notes there, and then you got the papers there. There it is, right there. Okay, Deborah Francis, born February 6, 1958 in Chicago. What you got?
Okay, Deborah Francis. Back in the early 18th century, there was a woman. She's not very well known. Her name was Bernadette of Lyon. She had a brother who had a stroke. You have to understand, heart disease and strokes didn't really happen very much to our ancestors. It's a modern day thing. People don't understand that. We think that heart disease was forever, but it wasn't. So this brother of yours had a stroke, and everybody was all for locking him in a room until he died. This was the way it would have been handled, because the thought of any kinds of therapies or bringing him back, and he was quite young. He probably had an accident of some kind and threw a blood clot. In any case, you were insistent that given the right set of things to do, you would bring him back into full health. And literally people laughed at you. But you had a fascination with puppetry. I know that sounds funny, but it was, you loved to watch the puppet makers and how they made them. You probably had a relative who was a puppet maker. So you understood, if you imagine the string going through the puppets' heads and then the strings operating the arms and the legs, it's very much like our own physiology. So you were able to vision what to do to reconnect the nerves. Now, you might not have thought about it that way. You might have been reconnecting the energies or something like that. But a certain set of exercises that you did with your brother, working with him probably something like 8-9 hours a day, and you were able to bring him back to full health. Right now, those people who do occupational therapy, they look back onto this because it was your work that helped them to understand how the body works and how we can bring people back to full functioning by giving them certain sets of exercises and certain things to do, and with compassion and with love. So you might right now have a connection to that. You may be a healer of some kind. You may have, you may love to understand how things work, like an exercise physiologist or something like that. Or you're just probably like the mechanistics of the body. But you had something to do with the way we look at it now here in the 21st century, how the body works. So you were amazing, and you're still amazing. Take care.
All righty. Thank you, Deborah, for chiming in there on the old email. Okay, next up we have Margarita. And she was born June 16th, 1977. She's currently living in Oswego, Illinois. A lovely town, I'm glad to understand.
Okay. This is really interesting, Margarita. There's a historical woman. Her name is Merit, Merit, Ptah, Ptah. She was an Egyptian, and she was the first recorded female physician. It was 2700 BC. So your lifetime goes way back.
Holy cats.
Yeah, way back. She was given the title of chief physician. And in the history of science, she was cited by Homer as being the greatest healer ever. So you have a lifetime as being actually that person. Sometimes it's someone around, as Dave was saying, we're not all famous, but we can be hanging around famous people. Like we have people hanging around us. That was a joke.
Yes, it was.
Okay. So, but in this case, you actually were that woman. The problem now is you might be angry at medicine a lot. You might feel that our current state of medicine is wrong somehow. And you may not actually be involved in medicine, although you have the same kind of active mind you had before. You have to deal with your anger at the fact that you feel that everyone has everything wrong. And what you want to do is when you come up against something where you feel that if a friend sees a doctor or you see a doctor and they give you some recommendations, you want to just step back and you want to go ahead and do some research. You want to see or do a meditation and see what would you do in this case? How would you treat this person? To say that our ancestors knew nothing about medicine is just a lie. The kind of medicine we have is just different than what they had. It doesn't mean that, like when I was doing research with Funio down in Brazil, do you know they have a much higher cancer cure rate than we do? Isn't that crazy? They don't use chemotherapy or any kinds of drugs. They use totally different therapies, and yet their cure rate is like at 95%. So we don't understand each other. And each culture has a different way of approaching it. You might want to, since you were an ancient Egyptian, you might want to go back and you might want to look at Egypt. You might want to look at some of the Egyptian letters or look at some pictures of the ancient Egyptians. You might also want to look up the Hathors, Hathors, Hathor. The Hathors were very interesting, and I think you also have something to do with them. So I've given you a lot of homework, Margarita, but you know what? When you do it, you're going to come into your own. You take care.
All righty. There you go, Margarita. Thank you very much. And And congratulations on the doctorate. Okay. Well, that's pretty neat. That's way far back, too.
Yeah, way far back. I was surprised.
All right. Next up, we have Diane Lynn. Let's see. August 25th, 1959 is the date of birth. 7:33 a.m. to be exact, from Chicago.
Okay. Diane Lynn, you had a lifetime, as I actually have the name of the woman who you were. Anna, you were an adopted daughter of Mitchell Hedges. They were archaeologists, and your name was Anna. And you were the one who, back in the 1920s, discovered the first crystal skull. The crystal skulls are very important. We still really don't like them. We don't understand them. The filmmakers, they made up all kinds of things about the crystal skulls. When you found this, you found it quite by accident, and your father was, I can't say not pleased, but he was skeptical and wanted to know, where did you get it and what could it be? However, it was very, very important to you. You kind of fall off although you're credited with having discovered it, you kind of fall off the radar. And one of the sources I looked up said that you absolutely began communicating with the crystal skull. You began channeling through the crystal skull, and you kind of fell into the archaeological background because they don't like that kind of thing. But if you look up a little bit more about her life, you may discover that. Now, in your own case, that same vibration vibrates through your life. Once we touch the unknown like that, no matter what lifetime it was in, that carries forward. It's one of the things that we don't forget. So you may be really needing to do research. You may have a yearning to go out and try to discover things. You may question everything. And what you need to do is you need to go and find some pictures of that first crystal skull or other crystal skulls. You need to sit down and you need to reconnect with yourself so that you're going to learn really a lot about not only our lives, but our Space Brothers' lives. Okay, take care, Diane Lynn.
Cool. These are getting neater as they go along, Amy, I'm telling you.
Well,
they're all cool, but I mean, they're getting more interesting. All right, how about Emily? She was born March 30th, one day after my birthday. How interesting is that? March 30th, 1979 in Yorkville, Illinois. She's originally from Levittown, Pennsylvania.
Okay. Yours is interesting because I know this sounds funny. I actually got your name before anything else. I didn't even understand why I was getting it. Your name was Abu al-Abbas Anabiti. So it's ABU.
Say that quick 3 times.
ABU AL-ABBAS LAL-NABATI. And you were one of the first people that did experimentation with medicine. You have to understand that before that, the people, the philosophers and the people who were thinking about medicine, they had a real problem because they believed that if they could reason it, they could understand it. They didn't have to research it. So we had a lot of phony things happen, a lot of bad therapies, a lot of bad medicine come out because they would sort of intuit it and then they would give it to people. But you said, no, this isn't right. We have to actually give it to people, then we have to check what the results are and we have to catalog the results. So you were sort of the founding father of modern medical methodology. This attitude of modern methodology or show me kind of an attitude might still be there in your life. You might really have a problem believing anything unless you've seen the effects of things. And this is not a bad thing. This really is helpful to many, many people out there. So even in the New Age, many of the things we believe in have not really been tested. You know, that they have anecdotal information, but not scientific information. So you might be one of the people who actually says, okay, this particular Reiki really works. I've seen it work. I've had many many instances where it was good. So I think that connection to your past life way back into the 13th century and this life is very, very profound and very, very strong. Okay, take care.
All righty. Well, thank you very much, Emily, for chiming in there. And before we go to break here real quick, I want to remind everybody what's happening Friday, February 26th at 7 o'clock. Of course, it's Amy's mediumship class and demonstration, and we're having a good old-fashioned seance.
Yeah, we are, and it's going to be so good.
That's so cool. I mean...
Well, you know, the way I've taught spiritists, which is what I am, there is a spiritualists and then spiritists. It's two branches on the same tree. Spiritualists don't, they have seances, they have circles where they get things from spirit. They do a lot of materialization, mediumship, things like that. Spiritists are a little bit different. They believe in helping the spirits and having the spirits help us. Same father, just took off in different directions. So I haven't done the seances, but I was privileged to be in Scotland, to be at a wonderful place called Well House, which is the seat of mediumship in the UK. I met many wonderful mediums, and I've attended quite a few seances. So I've talked to my friends all over the world, and we're going to actually do a full-blown seance. So we're going to be
holding hands, and
we're going to hold hands, and there's going to be candles. There's going to be a large crystal ball. I'm actually going to use a guide to bring the spirits to me and give messages. I might talk like the spirit. In general, we don't do that, but I might do that. It will be personal to the people in the circle. So although there might be some more universal messages, there'll be messages for each person there. And then we're going to change it from the seance into the traditional circle that's very popular in Scotland and England. And we'll each receive messages to share with the people in the circle. So it'll be very exciting. It's going to be a step into another land. So it's going to be very good.
How cool is that? Well, all right. Well, I tell you what, that's going to be happening again Friday, February 26th, 7 to 9 at the Intuitive Angel, 83 Century Drive in Oswego. If you need directions, give us a call, 630-554-7713. We'll stick around there. Let's see, Joanne, Erica, Shannon, Stevie, I can't say the name quickly, Jacqueline, Bella Logan, lots others. You're going to get your past life reading when we come back here on the Intuitive Angel Internet Radio Program. You're logged into The Stream.
Consider your life at this moment. Is there anything you'd like to change? Would you like a new job, more money, better health, and a happier love life? Then there's no better moment than now to have a feng shui consultation with Juliette Loyer. As a certified practitioner and teacher, Juliette can help you harmonize the energy of your space to bring about powerful changes in your life. Why not go with the flow? Call 708-254-2894 and book a consult for your home or business. Mention this ad between now and September 21st and receive a 20% discount. Call 708-254-2894 and book your appointment now. Consider your life at this moment and consider feng shui today. Many of us struggle with health issues or pain of some form or another, yet you can't seem to find the reason why the aching continues. But there's a way to uncover and treat the sources of all your ailments. For the past 20 years, the practitioners at New Life Holistic Health have been helping people find and overcome the root causes of their health trials, rebalance and restore their energy. Their New Life method combines today's most effective holistic therapies along with the quantum life system biofeedback full body scan, scanning you for over 7,000 health-related issues. This powerful method gives you the answers you've been searching for. Don't wait another day or even another minute to take back control of your health. Call 630-510-3180 or visit newlifeholistic.com for your free consultation. Mention you heard this ad on the stream and receive $25 off your first visit. New Life Holistic Health. newlifeholistic.com. Depression, anxiety, and insomnia can cause a lot of heartache and stress in a family or group of friends. And those heartaches only multiply when the symptoms are a byproduct of a bigger health concern, like cancer, PTSD, Parkinson's, or drug and alcohol dependency. And in the past, treatments for depression, anxiety, and insomnia were only moderately effective. But now there's a new therapy called Nexalin. Nexalin is a simple medical device that stimulates the midbrain. Nexalin is safe and an effective FDA-cleared drug-free treatment for depression, anxiety, and insomnia with no serious side effects. And Nexalin is proven effective in reducing symptoms in over 80% of patients treated. For information and a free confidential consultation, call 847-865-3216 or visit NexalinRelief.com. That's 847-865-3216 or visit NexalinRelief.com. Others say it. We prove it. 24.7 R3.
All right, we're back with the Intuitive Angel Internet Radio program here on 24/7 The Stream. It's yours truly, Dave Enway, along with Amy Bianchi. We're doing your past life readings. And we've got a caller on the line. Hello, caller. Who is this, please?
Hi, this is Jackie.
Hi, Jackie. Where are you calling us from?
Right now, Round Lake.
Oh, from Round Lake, Wisconsin?
Round Lake, Illinois.
Oh, Round Lake, Illinois. Okay, there's two, I think. All right. Well, welcome to the show there, dear. I'll tell you what, why don't you give us your date of birth and time of birth?
10/22/76 and 1:08 p.m.
All right. Where were you born, dear?
Cali, Colombia.
Cali, Colombia. Okay. Amy?
Okay. It's interesting because earlier I was working on your background and this name came. And it didn't really have anything to do with the fact that your last name is Gonzalez. It was Matilde, Matilde, Calderon Gonzalez. And she was the mother of Frida Kahlo. She was very creative and very much of a revolutionary. She was such a revolutionary that she actually changed her birth date in the records to coincide with the Mexican Revolution. So she was probably
Was this the artist with the eyebrows?
Yeah, this is her mother.
Oh, okay.
It was her mother. So when you have somebody like Frida, she was influenced, right? But she stands alone. We never think about who was her mother. And so this name just came out. When I typed it in, I was shocked. She was actually the second wife of Frida's father and was a rebellious person. She was very pro-Mexican. She was very... She was very political, okay? So I'm thinking that this is not just a past life, but that you might have some actually genetic material. She was not just in Mexico, but she moved and traveled all throughout South America and Central America. She was a fascinating person and one of the first people to be openly psychic. So that psychic energy was so strong that they actually thought perhaps she was she had some schizophrenia, or they didn't call it that at the time, but that she had visions. Okay. Later, they realized that she was having visions. She accurately predicted a lot of things. She predicted the falls of different regimes. She predicted actually the fall of Hitler. She was just an amazing person. So I think you're very connected to her. I think somewhere along the line you might even have some DNA from her, and that her connection to the indigenous people of all of Mexico and Central America is the same thing that you might have. So if you do have a deep, if you are profoundly psychic, which I'm sure you are, you might look to be able to control that by going back into the indigenous, looking at, say, how the Toltecs and the Mayans did things, looking at the history in Central America of different psychics and how they looked at it. Also political, because the psychic gift was used politically. So it might be fun for you to look at the current elections and see what you can predict. See what you can see coming down the pike. Don't use your mind, though. Use your intuition, and just scribble down some fun things, and then let us know how it turned out. Okay, Jackie?
Okay, thank you.
Okay, you take care.
All righty. Thank you, Jackie. We appreciate it. Okay, next up we have Joanne. And let's see, she was born March 28th. That's one day before my birthday of March 28th. 1952, 7:08 p.m. in Yorkville.
Okay. This is another one of those weird ones. So, Joanne, you had a past life as a woman named Mary Jemison. Mary Jemison, in 1753, she was 15 years old, and she was captured by the Indians along the Pennsylvania frontier during the 7 Years' War between the French and the English and the Indians peoples of North America. She was actually adopted, and she was incorporated into the Senecas. And this was normal. They wanted to replace lost people or a lost spouse, and they would adopt somebody in. So you were never a prisoner. You were actually adopted. You married and raised a family before and after the American Revolutionary. You took in many captives and helped the people. And then you were one of the first people to actually write a book about your experiences. So you're not only a historical character, but you can really look in depth into what happened to you. What might that mean to you right now? You might be very multicultural. You might understand in depth other people. You might see that we are very sadly mistaken when we judge other people from fear or because for some reason we don't like them. The idea that the Indians were cruel might have been true in some cases, just like a lot of things are true, but they actually treated you very well and were very kind to you, and so you wanted to put that out there. So you wrote the book Captured by Indians. So you can go ahead and look online and see if you can find the book, and your name was Mary Jemison, Jemison. Okay, take care.
Cool, man.
Yeah, it was really cool.
All righty. See, we have so many people here. You don't have time to do me. Well, we can do that in private, and we'll report on it next week.
Okay, we'll tell everybody who you used to be.
All right, you were the stable.
Well, let's
boy
see. Paul McCartney's still alive, unless you have a dual life with him.
I was the original that got killed.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah. Okay. Next up, we have Erica Irene. She was born March 27th. Wow, I mean, that's 2 days before my birthday of March 29th. 2 days
before your birthday.
1987, and her hometown is Chicago as well.
Okay, this is a little complicated. We're going to go back to Freda. I mean, it's an amazing thing. It's not that like I'm stuck or anything, but it just is the way it is. There was a hotbed of thought and new ways of looking at things, new thought. And so you were not Freda Coelho, and you were not Diego, her husband and confidant and the guy she warred with more than anything. But you were one of her lovers. She took a lot of female, she was the first openly bisexual person. And so, Ari, you got to know her, got to understand what happened. You could probably find yourself, because I think once she had the bus accident, you came to her and took care of her and helped her. So you could find yourself historically, once again. You did live in Blue House, which is her house just outside of Mexico City, or in Mexico City. You lived there. You were very influenced by her style and by her love of cooking. So you probably love to cook now. That would be part of it. And another thing would be a certain restlessness and, again, a political a view that maybe you're not expressing right now because you're quite young. You might not have gotten angry at the system yet, but you will. And when you do, you're going to be a voice to be reckoned with. You have to go through lots of things first. One of the things that I believe that Freda taught you was, again, how to look into the future. She would have gotten this from her mother, which we talked about earlier. So you do have a feeling of not just psychic. Not all psychics can look into the future and be accurate. They can tell what's happening now that's unseen. That's one form of psychic. But to have that gift to be able to see into the future is very rare. So you have that gift, and you got that gift. It's part of who you were trained to be in that past life. And your art, you should pursue the art. You're still influenced by her. If there is a possibility that she is a spirit guide to somebody, she's probably a spirit guide to you. You just have to keep her in line. Okay, Ari, you take care. Bye-bye.
Ari, is that her nickname?
Erica, yes.
Erica, that's her nickname? Okay.
Yes.
All righty. Okay. Next up, we have Sharon. And she's originally from Aurora, Illinois, March 20th. Golly, that's 9 days before my birthday, Amy. 1970.
Okay, Sharon. There was a noted a woman who ran an abbess. She was an abbess. She ran sort of like what would be called a convent. Her name was Hildegard van Bingen. You were one of her understudies. This means that you were very schooled in herbs, herbology, how things worked. You would have been the person who mixed up things for her. I see a mortar and pestle. You might have a very big interest in how medicines work. You might not like the commercials that are on now. They talk about anal leakage and sudden death from a certain thing.
Amy.
Well, that's just what they talk about. You may find that offensive because none of the medicines you would ever make would ever hurt anybody. They would only help. So you might talk to yourself when you see things like that and go, how do they get away with that? You have instinctive knowledge because of that past life and how things go together. You may be very into different vitamins and supplements and things, and you may even put out your hand and say, don't take both of those at one time. You could have chosen to be in a medical profession, but you wouldn't have particularly liked science. You would have been more in the medical profession of helping and using natural methods. You would make a good naturopath or even a good modern day herbologist. All you'd have to do is study up and it would just come right back to you. Okay, you take care. And look up Hildegard van Bingen. Take care, Sharon.
All right. Thank you very much, Sharon. We appreciate it. And cool show so far, Annie.
Oh, it is good. I'm having such a good time.
Yeah, real quick, I want to remind everybody, in case you're just joining us, the people that were going to be participating in the weekend with Dr. James Wanless, the creator of the Voyager Tarot deck. We were going to have Friday the 26th was Intro to Voyager, and then the 27th and 28th was the 2-day certification workshop. Well, that's been rescheduled. We're still having it, but it's going to be in May. And so it's a little bit nicer out. We can do some stuff outside. So it's been rescheduled to the Intro to Voyager is going to be May 20th from 7 to 9. And let's see, Saturday the 21st and Sunday, May 22nd is going to be the 2-day Voyager Tarot Certification Workshop. So again, if you were planning on coming, please make a note of that and let anybody else know that in case they don't catch the announcement, if they were planning on going, that it has been rescheduled to May. Okay?
Okay.
Just want to make sure everybody got that down. Okay. I hate to have people show up, That'd be terrible. All right, here we go. Next one up. Nice note here, too. I love your shows. You guys are awesome. I know. Thank you. That was a joke. Okay. I would be very interested to hear about my past life in a reading. My name is Stevie Lynn. Lots of Lynn middle names today. She was born April 30th, 1980. She says, I look forward to hearing your show. Keep up the great work. Well, thank you, Stevie. We appreciate it.
Okay, Stevie. There was a movie star. Her name was Jane Mansfield, so you're a little young to really remember her.
She knows who she is.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, anyway.
She's 36.
I believe that you were related to her. You would be have some of her sexuality, some of her understanding of how to not manipulate, but how to come across and connect with people. You would be very good in communications. Because we think about the sex bombshells as just freaks of nature, these beautiful women. But the beautiful women, they really were pretty smart. They knew a lot of things. It's possible that her mother was who you were in a past life. Because she's so much bigger than life, that's all I saw. I don't think that you were her, but I do think that you had a definite relationship to her. So probably, I think, a mother. That understanding how to present yourself. You'd be a good model, a good actress. But I think it's a little more profound for you in this lifetime. I think you're a good communicator. I think you have things that you want to say to people, and you're able to get them across. You not only get them across with your voice, but with body language and with the whole thing. You have an ability to be able to move, to be able to connect, and you get this from that connection to Jane Mansfield. I think, isn't there some TV star who's related to her now?
Yeah, there is. She's on one of the
Law and Order. Marissa. You might want to look her up, and then maybe you could get the lineage and see exactly what. Yeah,
she's like the main one, the brunette.
Yeah,
who had that partner for a while, and now he's off the show, but she's still the main.
She's like the chief thing. Now, something.
Well,
like
it's Jane Mansfield's daughter.
Okay, so if you look at her, you might feel familiar. You might feel as if there's some connection between the two of you. Don't go off stalking her or anything, but there's some connection there. So you might want to go back and that's a bio that might be current, and you might be able to find some connections. It's very interesting and very, very good for you because you have that ability to influence people. You just have to use it for good. Okay, take care, Stevie.
All right. Thank you very much, Stevie. By the way, we appreciate it very much. You logging in, and again, you have time to call if you'd like. If you do like to get a personalized past life reading from Amy, all you have to do is call 630-445-1213, and we'll be happy to take care of you. Okay, now this is what Amy was teasing me about before. So this is a difficult name. Okay, so we're gonna see if I can get this right here. Okay, Malgozada.
Okay.
Okay, is that all right? Okay.
Malgorzata. Okay.
All right, and Desirs on now, Poland. I'm so sorry. Please forgive me, dear. Please forgive me. I'm terrible at this. This is why I'm on internet radio. Thank you. Okay, but anyway, she's from Poland, Amy, and she's currently living in Addison. And she was born January 31st, 1973. And she's a very forgiving person, too. I understand.
She understands. That's good. Okay. Interestingly, even though you were born in Poland, your past life took place in Canada. There was a time when a lot of countries actually paid people to immigrate to Canada. Did you know that, Dave?
No.
Yeah, they actually gave you like a couple $1,000s to get the hell out of Dodge.
Well, it's kind of like they do with Alaska now, right?
Yeah, that's similar to that, yeah. So you were born of parents, I believe your parents were probably Maltese, so you could look up the island of Malta. Again, it doesn't necessarily mean that there's not some kind of historical lineage, but I think you probably came to Malta. It was probably around the 1930s, early 1930s, with your parents, maybe as refugees. And then you immigrated to Canada. At that time, there was a smallpox epidemic, and you passed away. So you might have been about 17. What was important about you at that time was that you were one of the first refugees that was taken in. So you are historical, okay? I can't tell you your name, but the thing you might want to look that you might have a strong memory of is the island of Malta and the temples on the island of Malta. I think your job was to open up the doorway to some of the Canadians to understand the deep European history, because I think they'd been deprived of it, okay? So you shared with classmates before you got sick. And so you may feel as if you want to get that job done. You may not be happy in Chicago. You may feel drawn to Canada. You may feel as if you have things to tell people about history, about the past. You may have, like Dave, an affinity for the History Channel. And I think there's a part of healing that you have very strong inside of you, but don't look to the current energy types of healings. I would go all the way back to the goddess. So you'd have to do some research. I think that you have a connection to the early goddess. Probably now they're thinking that goddess connection went back 10, 20,000 years before Christ, so way back. So you have that deep thrumming history. The problem is it's not from Poland. So you run into blockages when you try to go back in your family history. You want to go back into the history of your soul, and you want to discover what they knew. And as I said before, they knew things that are very different than what we know, and it's not a contest, but you might know things about healing that no one here knows right now. So you can pick that up from your connection, and I would start on the island of Malta. Kind of research it, look at some of the temples, and see if that rings a bell for you. Okay, you take care.
All right, and thank you very much, dear. We appreciate it. And next up, we have Bella. Bella was born, May 16th, 2008.
Okay.
And you know what? I tell you what, I announced that, so we don't have time to really get to that one yet. So excuse me, we got a little bit ahead of ourselves on time, so we have to take a quick break. But we're going to get back to her as soon as we come back from the break. But don't forget, everybody, of course, happening this Sunday is the Money Magic class with Amy, so don't forget about it. If you want to attend that class, it's only $35. Learn how to spiritually manage money.
Yes, it's going to be so good. And you know what? It's beautiful, too. I always like that. So it's beautiful. You put your energy into creating the box. Each box is unique for each person, so you can't have somebody else use your money box. And I'm going to teach you the mathematical progressions that'll help your money to multiply and help you to have a new relationship with money.
All right. 630-554-7713 is the number to call if you would like to come attend that class. So stick around, everybody. We'll be right back with more of The Intuitive Angel, and we'll be back with your reading, Bella, when we come back right here on the stream.
Looking for help with your money? Maybe you're a new business, not sure where to begin with your accounting issues. Instead of taking chances with the IRS, why not come to us? Anderson Accounting offers tax solutions for your business, whether big or small, new or established. Let us help you with your accounting and tax needs. We give fresh ideas and outside-the-box solutions for all your accounting problems. Give us a call, 630-229-9884, or visit our website at andersonaccountingco.com. Helping companies reach their potential through careful planning, prompt service, and years of expertise. We are the solution. andersonaccountingco.com, 630-229-9884. You need to quit smoking. You need the latest products and e-liquid. You need Delectable Vapors. Located just off Main Street in St. Charles, Delectable Vapors is family owned and operated and cares about your individual needs, not making a fast buck. Come visit Mike, Danny, and Jill at 504 East Main Street in St. Charles and see for yourself. Delectable Vapors carries top e-liquid brands like Cutwood, Five Ponds, High Seas, and Sick Boy. They even have their own own premium juice line. Sit back and enjoy their awesome tasting lounge filled with new flavors, fully stocked and ready to serve your vaping needs. Delectable Vapors carries all the hardware and e-liquid you could ever need. Did I mention their top-notch customer service? Delectable Vapors in St. Charles, just off Main Street, or always online at delectablevapors.com. You need to quit smoking. Come see us and let's kick some ash. Ask yourself, when was the last time I took a vacation? It's been a while, hasn't it? If you're looking for a well-deserved, peaceful getaway, then look no further than Vacation Home Renters Whitetail Lodge. Let the professionals at vacationhomerenter.com help you with the vacation spot of your dreams, the Whitetail Lodge. This clean, cozy, and gorgeous cabin is a spacious 3,100 square foot, 5-bedroom, 3.5 bath that is perfect for large families or entertaining friends. Did I mention it comes with an outdoor hot tub? Relax with modern luxuries like central air, wood-burning fireplace, Wi-Fi, enormous covered deck, and flat-screen TVs in every room. Just minutes from Terry Peak Ski Area and other popular attractions like Mount Rushmore and Custer State Park. Don't wait another minute to book the Whitetail Lodge and stay in the vacation home you're looking for. Visit online at vacationhomerenter.com and select the beautiful Whitetail Lodge. 24.7 The Stream. 247thestream.com.
All right, we're back with the Intuitive Angel Internet Radio program here at 24/7 The Stream. It's yours truly, Dave Enway, along with Amy Biank. And Amy, how are you?
I am good.
You holding in there?
Yeah,
You've done a ton of readings.
Well, it's been such fun.
Well, it has been fun. Okay, well, let's move on because let's see if we can't squeeze as many more in as we can. We might miss a couple, but we apologize about that. But we thank everybody for the wonderful response we've been doing them first come, first serve. So just know that if it was a late comer, maybe we can get you next week. Okay, this is Bella. And Bella's a young person. She was born, May 16th, 2008 in Chicago.
Okay, well, young people have past lives too. And as a matter of fact, the connection to past lives is very strong in children. So when your child says, Mommy, how come we don't have palm trees in the backyard? We used to. And you look at her like you're nuts. You're nuts, kid. But it may be because they're remembering a past life. That's actually way more common. So if your children say something really off the wall and they haven't been watching TV or anything like that, and they actually look sincerely confused, it's what's called bleed through. So you have your spirit animates you. It doesn't necessarily live in you, and your spirit has all of the experiences that you've ever had in all lifetimes. And your spirit, then when you connect to it, you can have these very strong memories. Little ones are much more connected to spirit. They don't get distracted by material things until they're at least 9. And then when they're distracted by material things and emotions and stuff, then they begin to lose it. And then they have to come to someone like me to tell them about their past lives. But Bella's past life is particularly interesting. I can give the name. So if you're out there, Bella's mommy, you write it down. It was Lavinia Goodall, Goddell. And Lavinia was the first woman to try to practice law in the state of Wisconsin. And she wanted to be in the state bar. She actually had a very big desire to eventually be a judge, and she couldn't see why women couldn't. And the Supreme Court denied her admission to the state bar, and these were the grounds. Nature has tempered women as little for the judicial conflicts of the courtroom as for the physical conflicts of the battlefield. Womanhood is molded for gentler and better things. That was the Supreme Court. It's actually a historical document that's what they said. They couldn't believe that women could do it. So Bella's here and she's pissed off. Oops, I shouldn't have said that. Bella's here and she's really angry. So Bella might be rebellious against the system. Bella might act like a lawyer a lot, even though she's 8 or 9. Bella is going to go directly to law school and become a judge. That's what she wants to do. She might, because she's so little, think she wants to be a fairy or something like that. But you'll see. She will look at you when you have conflicts or problems, and she will look at the answer as the answer that comes, the one that would be the judicially proper answer. So out of her mouth might come even some big words having to do with the law, because she was obsessed. And she was a thorn in the side of the Supreme Court. I think she applied over 6 times to the state bar, and then finally they had to take it to the Supreme Court, which nobody was very happy about. So little Bella has that same spirit, and that's a wonderful thing. We need women to level the playing field. And being born it looks like she's a Hispanic female or a Latina, being born as a Latina and having those goals are the same kind of goals she had when she was up in Wisconsin, to break into the court, to get what you do her, to get into law school, to do all those things. That's our Bella. Take care, Bella, honey. I want you to represent me in the future.
Yeah, and when she's a little older, have her watch Suits. It's a cool show. All righty. Thank you, Bella, there. And we have another young person here. This is Logan, April 29th, 2013. And he was born in Chicago as well. I wonder if they're related.
I think so.
They might be.
But see, it's interesting because in families, you'll have clusters of past lives. Not all families are. I sometimes felt that I had dropped in from Mars into my family, so I was so very, very different. But it's not always that way. And oftentimes it's a complementary type of a thing. But in Logan's case, I do know that he was very much involved with nature. He knew, and I'm sorry I don't have the name at the tip of my tongue, he knew the gentleman who wrote Peter Pan. Do you know the gentleman who wrote
I can't.
I can't remember the name either. But he was very familiar with that gentleman. He might have even been, I think he wrote it for some children. He might have been one of those children. The whimsy or the ability to be, to move into a story. He has the ability to be a great actor, a great writer. He may not be as directed as his sister. So imagine, you've got the lawyer and the Supreme Court justice in the family, and then you have this whimsical child. But the whimsy is going to temper Bella, which is good. The whimsy is going to take things that Bella might want to communicate and communicate them in stories, communicate them in ways that will touch the hearts of people. So they make a really wonderful team. Just a little bit hard for mommy, but that's okay. And you might want to look up, again, Peter Pan, the guy who wrote Peter Pan, and Logan is somehow involved in that. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really good.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. We'll have to have Logan over for dinner.
Yeah.
It'll be good.
Well, I never thought I was from another planet, but one time I asked my dad, "Am I adopted?" And he goes, "Yeah, and if you're not careful, we'll send you back."
Well.
my lovely,
your lovely family. What can you say?
Yes, what can I say? Okay. Anyway, okay. Well, do we have time for another, Amy?
Yeah.
Okay. A nice note with this one too. I find this subject so interesting. Thank you for sharing your wisdom and teaching us different aspects of spirituality. This is from Donna. She was born September 7th, 1956 in Chicago. And thank you back there, Donna, too.
Okay. Donna, I smell, taste, feel chocolate. I have a feeling that you had a past life. You'd have to look up Hershey. He was not just a guy who made chocolate, but he was a social innovator. He created whole ways of being. At that time, coming to the utopian existence, Pullman was creating the Pullman factories and having Pullmanville, but Hershey was very interesting. I believe you were either a daughter or a wife of Hershey. You would know right now a lot about chocolate. You'd be able to, you might express it in thinking that nothing's good enough, that the quality isn't there, or you might really get into it. I think they're actually having some kind of big chocolate fest down at McCormick Place. You might want to go because you would fall right into it. It would resonate with you. and you would just be absolutely amazed. You know the terminology, how they judge cocoa, what's happening with it, because you were really strongly raised in that environment. I think that you went on to be a teacher, but that you died probably in the late 1930s, and then were reincarnated again right away. What does that mean? Maybe the social innovations, you might want to study what Hershey did. You might have had something to do with it or carrying on your father's work. You might also just be here to make a darn good chocolate bar. That's just possible. So, wow. Yeah, and it is an art form. And chocolate liqueur is amazing. That's what they call not everything is just powder, So you might just really and truly explore it. I think you'll be absolutely amazed. Send us a box of candy.
All righty. Well, there you go. And we're not going to say the last name on the air, but I'm just pointing something to Amy out real quick. And I'll explain that to you a little bit later. Okay. Actually, the last name there's a little candy making connotation to it. I don't think you saw the last name.
No, I didn't.
Okay. Well, we'll let you know.
Woohoo! That's exciting.
I tell you what, this person can contact us and let us know if we have permission to use her last name, because it's fascinating.
Okay.
What just happened. But anyway, I got to tell you what, Amy, it's been a fantastic show. And we've just got a couple of minutes left. I'll tell you what, can you do one in 1 minute?
Maybe.
Okay, Julieta. She was born in St. Luis Potosi, Mexico.
Okay,
currently living in Elk Grove Village. She was born October 27th, 1978. Go.
Okay, you have a very strong affinity for, I believe his name is Juan Diego. He's the one who discovered the cloak for Our Lady of Guadalupe. This means that you probably had some past lives around that. You might have even been instrumental. I believe that you were wealthy and that you might have been instrumental in helping raise the money to build the Cathedral of Guadalupe down in Mexico City. If you haven't thought about it, you might want to look up. It's not a legend. He was one of the well-documented miraculous things. If you haven't had a chance to go and look at the cloak, it's an amazing, amazing experience to see that. Nobody could have painted it or anything like that. So you were very much a part of bringing a miracle to the minds of the public. So I would say, I'm not good on my history there, but I would say probably the lifetime was around the middle 1800s, something like that. And you were able to protect and bring the experience to the masses. And Dave's telling me I've got to end it, but you take care of the same things now. Protect and bring experiences to the masses. Okay, take care.
All righty, and that does it. Excellent job, Amy.
Thank
24
you.
readings.
Woo!
24 readings. Hey, all right. Thank you there, Julieta, for rounding it out. And we're going to see everybody at the Money Magic class this Sunday from 1:30 to